You did it. Yeah, but that's tough. Well, and here's the thing too. It's like it's always going to be either your personal life or your business life.
Yeah.
Something's always going to be effed up.
It
That's
feels
my
that
personal
way, doesn't
philosophy,
it?
right? So it's like at least like one's crazy. You just have to,
Yeah.
accept that whatever is going to happen. And
Yeah.
okay, you ready to do this?
I'm so ready.
Let's do this.
Rock it.
Hello, everybody, and welcome to this week's SEO and IPAs. It's a fun weekly hangout about inbound marketing, entrepreneurship, and more for cool people of all shapes, stripes, and colors. As always, I am Daniel Barrett here from Two Friendly Nerds, the siren capital of the world, Mount Sirington in
That's right.
Siringsville. From Two Friendly Nerds, that's TWOFriendlyNerds.com, the world's friendliest web design and online marketing company. And with me, as always, is the brains behind the operation. Officially, the only reason anybody ever watches this show, one of the faces on the newly announced Mount Rushmore of SEO, which is called Mount SEM Rushmore. Or my alternate version of that was Mount Rankmore. There you go.
Oh, there you go.
SEO from Reinvent Interactive. That is reinventinteractive.com. Patty, how are you, my wonderful friend?
I'm terrific. I'm terrific. I like that one. I think only serious insiders will get the SEM rush out of that. So,
man,
bravo.
That shit annoying.
Yeah, it is.
Who are the? I read an article. We should have talked about this article.
What is it?
But I forgot it. I mean, it's kind of boring. And there's not like a whole lot to talk about. But read about analytics spam. Analytics spam. Where you ever like check your analytics and you're like, who's in the top refer is like SEM alt or whatever. And
Yeah.
they're exploiting this. They're not sending anyone to your website. They're exploiting this code loophole in the JavaScript that runs analytics to show up, and so that's how they generate traffic. And it fucking blew my mind because I was like, of course you see all that stuff, you know it's kind of spammy, but I didn't really understand like what the point was.
Yeah, I've been blocking that on all my client sites actually, and it's from what I thought it was like a Russian something evil.
I mean, it's like there's a whole article about it. I'll try to find it and send it to you, but it was really fascinating because it's like anything you have that people like, people will find a way to spam it, right?
Evil.
Spam is a universal human marketing society thing, and it's just like analytics. Like, who even thought of that?
Why? To what end?
Because people go into their analytics, they see it, and they click on it, and they go to the site. That's literally what it's for.
Yeah.
Does that blow your mind? It blew my mind.
That's awful. That's awful. Where's your beer, Dan? Where's your beer? What do you have?
It's right here. Oh, my beer. Oh, I think so. Hold on. You go first. I gotta go get mine out of the fridge. I'll be right back.
Oh, okay.
I got a boring one this week, anyways.
No, I have a favorite one. I've been chatting this one up for the last week or so on Instagram, but it is Orabelle. It's fantastic. It's by Great Divide Brewing Company, and it's a Belgian-style ale brewed with spices. And so, Dan, check this out. The spices in my Belgian-style beer.
Yes.
Where is it? It is. So it has 2 strains of yeast, orange peel, a dash of coriander, and it's terrific. It's fabulous.
Yeah, it sounds Christmassy, kind of.
Oh no. It's not really that strong, which is good. But it says 1 sip and you'll be in love. So true.
What is it called again?
True.
Wow, look at the color.
Orabelle. It's really tasty. It's Great Divide Brewing. You and I have both featured them here. And of course, I've got my my hat on. See my dogfish head hat?
Yeah, of course.
Love. I'm combining my brews here today. But honestly, I'm beering out because we didn't talk about this, but I'm planning my beercation.
Okay, cool.
Every January, February, we go on a beercation.
Yeah.
And we bring the kids. As your kids get a little older, I'll give you tips on how to beercation with kids. I should write a blog about this actually. But anyway, this
you call it Hops on Pop. Beercationing with kids.
That's awesome.
There you go.
I have to write that down. That's brilliant.
Yeah. Have that one for free. $1 million ideas, folks. I'm just spitting them out like crazy.
You know what, Dan? You are quick. I like that about you. I like that about you. Anyway, so we're doing Beercation this year, I think, to Hershey and Harrisburg, Pennsylvania, which is a total doable trip. You've got Trogs there. You have Lancaster Brewing Company. There's actually 10 breweries within that area. So I'll come back with some stories after we do that. But anyway, Orabelle is delicious. Delicious. It's
I really like the color.
Mm-hmm. I get the orange. I get a little bit of the kind of the warm from the coriander, a little bit of the kind of the lemony from the coriander. It's really, really good. Really good. Really lovely. Great with food. I always say that, but you know, we had it with nachos the other night. Totally worked.
Oh, I want to make nachos.
Love nachos.
It's like one of those things I always want to make and we never make.
That's what happens when it was supposed to be so stormy, right? We got a little bit.
You get a lot of snow?
No. Well, I mean, I don't know. We've got 6 or 7 inches.
No. Well,
it's not 24 inches. They were. I mean, we were.
I haven't looked outside in 2 days. It could be. I don't know. It could be crazy out there.
No,
I'm in the basement. I can't see anything. Yeah.
Yeah. My kids missed 2 days of school this week I mean, yesterday, yeah, they should have been off, but like they just took off Monday just in anticipation of the 2 feet of snow that we didn't get on Tuesday. It was awful. But anyway, cheers. Tell me what you have. Are you drinking coffee?
I am drinking coffee, but
okay.
It's coffee time of this today. But I actually ran out of beer, so I brought something I've already done on the show, which was the Omegang Adoration, which was the Christmas beer.
Nice.
And also similar, right? Like coriander, cardamom, mace, grains of paradise, and sweet orange peel. And I really liked this. It was one of my top Christmas brews that I tried this year or whatever. It's a little sweet for me, a little bit sweet. I think it's the grains of paradise or the orange peel or whatever that sort of heats it up. But really pleasant, really nice. It's dark, although you can't see it because I'm just going to drink it out of the bottle because I already did this beer once. It's really good. I mean, every time I feel like about this beer the way I feel about Mad Men.
Oh, tell me.
So yeah, sorry, I get spam phone calls here. Here's how I feel about Mad Men. Every time I watch Mad Men.
Yes.
Okay. And I've only seen like the first season.
Yeah.
Every time I watch Mad Men, I'm like, wow, like that was incredibly well written, beautifully shot. Like everything about this is insanely high quality. And then I have no desire to watch the next one. And I feel kind of about this beer where it's like I'll see it in the fridge and I'm like, eh. And every time I drink it, I'm like, this is really good.
Right.
But you know how it's like Ulysses, right? Like James Joyce, Ulysses. Yeah, it's a classic, but I kind of don't want to read it. Never read it. I don't want to read it. Just kind of tell me about it.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. It's Train of Consciousness. Got it. Cool. There's stream of or whatever.
You want to just like appreciate it from afar, but not participate.
Yeah, like it's great. It's really good, and it's just not like the go-to. Right. You know, it's like you've got that movie. I'll just keep throwing out metaphors. You've got that movie in your Netflix queue. It's like Romanian, and it got really great reviews. It's supposed to be like really intense.
Yeah.
And you're skipping over it to watch How I Met Your Mother instead.
Like Django, Can't Do It, or whatever.
Oh, Django Unchained, that was great. You should watch that. That's much lighter.
No,
than you think it's going to be. But anyway. Yeah. So anyway, Omegang, great job, guys. Seriously, that's very good. But, and the other thing I wanted to share because I did a boring beer. Can I share with you something that I bought that's cool for the business folks out there? You want a little business swag?
Okay.
I bought this last year and I bought another one this year.
Okay.
It's my whole year calendar on like a dry erase material.
I love it.
So it's like the whole year all on one giant page. The back is the same thing, but it's like sideways.
Okay.
And you can just write all over it with dry erase marker, and it's great. So it's a calendar put out by a company called New Year, which is spelled Neuyear.
Ooh.
Okay. And it's like $10 or something. They're awesome.
Oh.
Hang it up. You got like a little like schedule whiteboard kind of thing.
I love it. I have something to share.
Share.
Can you see this?
Okay, what do you got there?
It's a big sticky note. It's a big sticky note, and it's green, and it's like.
Oh my God, that's ridiculous.
Size of my head. But you know what I'm going to do? I'm gonna complete my client strategies. Each client's going to get one. I'm going to have it on my wall, and it's going to be awesome. It's going to be.
That's really.
Plaster my wall. And this stuff.
What is that stuff?
This is like a tape that's also the same color that you can write on.
Oh, that's fun.
I'll let you know what I do with it, but it had to come home with me. I was at Staples, and it had to come home with me. Anyway, office supplies.
Yeah, I love office
supplies.
Love
that. Me too. But I actually love today's conversation. Can we jump into this? Because this is such good stuff, I think.
Okay, so let me intro this article for us here. I will share my screen. Okay, so today whoops, where did it go? I had it open right here. Nope, that's something else. Sorry, technical difficulties.
Are you bringing up the article?
I got it right here, yeah.
Okay.
I just got to share it. So this week we're talking about an article that Patty recommended that was on Search Engine Land, the venerable SEO blog. And it's 5 essential SEO techniques to master in 2015. And it's kind of a basic, not basic at all, I don't mean to say it's basic, but it's sort of a quick rundown of some of the big kind of changes or trends that this guy, Jim Yu, going on in SEO in general. One of the things that was really, just to kind of start it off, is he mentions this very early on and said, like, almost across almost any industry, organic traffic in SEO is one of the best and cheapest, most important ways of acquiring new business. So, there's a lot of stuff to unpack here. A lot of these things are kind of broad, and they're sort of high-level stuff, I thought. So not really an article where it's going to be like, tweak your title tag and exactly how it's going to do it, but these are sort of like really important broad trends in the industry that you need to know about, you need to be aware of. So Patty, what grabbed you about this? Because I read some of these, and I was sort of nodding my head and saying, yes, I totally agree, these are very important, but I'm not totally sure where to take it after I read this article. So why don't we kind of unpack some of these? Why don't you kind of pick one that you thought was interesting? We'll sort of talk about it.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, I really like number 1. I think that I took notes in preparation for today. Number 1 took up the whole page. I just thought.
So number 1 here is map strategy to audience and competitive insights.
Yeah.
So, okay, so get into that. Like, first of all, what does that mean to you?
Well,
yeah.
I mean, first of all 5, we can just get this over with, because some of these we don't have to talk about. So the first one, yes, mapping the strategy to audience and competitive insights. Align your content and SEO teams, right? So that's sort of a collaborative idea. Make mobile SEO a priority. And, we talked recently about that. I think it was just last week, about how Google made that, if your website's not mobile friendly or not working with mobile, it's going to let you know. So that we already know. Number 4 was find, measurement, and reporting that works. There's some interesting insights in there, I thought. And then integrating the SEO data across teams. Again, that's kind of another communication or collaborative idea. How to take insights, distribute them, and grow other areas of marketing. So that's kind of how I interpreted the ideas. But the first idea, and again, you're right. These aren't brand new. We've seen these trends happening. You and I have been covering articles over the last 6 months in 2014 that are all kind of pointing to this. But I think the strategy and audience piece. It talks about determining searcher intent, right? And kind of segmenting those audiences. It mentions the whole idea of creating these kind of personas, and understanding the kind of the buying path, right? Like what your buying journey is of those personas, and what your kind of the takeaway there is to have something to offer your visitors something at each point along that buying path, right? Have some kind of content on your website that is going to meet that need.
So let's dig into that a little bit. So let's take the idea of personas, buyer personas, right? Which is sometimes called client avatars, customer avatars, whatever you're going to call it. So how would you use that in an SEO context, right? Or how do you use that? Let's say you're a business owner out there and you're watching this and you're like, okay, I just need to know like how to use this for my business, right? How do you boil that down for them and say like, all right, if I'm a web designer, for example, how do I use personas to drive my marketing strategy, my SEO strategy in particular? Like, how do I use that idea?
You first, the persona is the client or the customer or the visitor, right? It's that personification of who you're building the site for, who you want to buy from you, you know, who's gonna visit your site. So it's,
right. So I might say like, okay, yeah. So I might say like, you know, my clients are, let's say, Rachel, who's a life coach, is just starting out and doesn't have a lot of money, but she wants convenience. And then I've got Raquel.
Right.
She's Rachel's sister. She's much more successful. She looks down on Rachel. There's a lot of interpersonal tension. It's very weird sometimes. Raquel is much more concerned about looking really good. She's willing to pay for it. Right. So I have these kind of like fictionalized people who are kind of represent my clients. Right.
Right.
Okay.
Right, exactly. And they have there's a geography that you're applying to this persona. There's an age group, you know, it's either male or female. It's your ideal customer or client, right? And it's just a deeper understanding. It's, okay, well, what would that person want to see on this page or this site? How are they searching? What is their intent when they're on Google looking for me and my services and my products, right? So it's understanding them. I mean, I have clients that are doing this. You know, my one client has a persona. She's named her Grace, as a matter of fact. And when we are talking about content ideas, blog ideas, social media marketing, it's, okay, guys, wait a minute, hold on. What would Grace think of this? Is Grace going to want to read this? Is she going to interact with this content? Is she going to...
WWGD.
What would Grace do? Exactly. Exactly. So what it does is it kind of gives you that beacon, that reminder as to, you know, what are we doing? You know, what's at the core of what we're creating? What is the content that we're creating? What are the products, even if you're looking to create new products? You know, I mean, this is not a new idea. Marketing as an industry has been diving into and doing these deep understandings of clients and profiling them, you know, forever.
Well, and that's one of the larger themes here, right? And you mentioned this explicitly, is that traditional marketing and SEO are kind of merging.
Yes.
Right? So SEO is doing more traditional marketing stuff, traditional marketing is doing more SEO stuff. They're sort of taking and cross-pollinating. So let me ask you about this. This is another part of number one that I was sort of, I wasn't quite sure what he was getting at or what he meant specifically, but he talks about competitive insights, right?
Yeah.
So how are these things like connected, and how do you use competitive insights in your SEO, right? Like, I can think of one obvious example, which is I look at a successful competitor doing content marketing. I find out what pieces of content they do that work particularly well and have been shared a lot, and then I either expand or improve on those pieces of content for my own, right? So is that kind of all there is? Is there more to that? Like, how do you view that? How's that changing, if at all?
Well, I think as it relates to SEO in particular, it's ranking. You know, you can see how your competitors are ranking in and around your ranking, and kind of try to deconstruct that. Why are they ranking higher than me? What are they doing that's better? What is their, you know, I would dive into things like domain, you know, scores, and understand, you know, some of those ideas. I would take maybe my persona and see what my competitors are doing. Are they meeting the needs of my persona? Are they meeting Grace's needs better than I am? Let's see. You know, I think you're right. Also, what of their content is getting a lot of play. Did you want to share that really cool competitive tip that you and I talked about last week about the phone number?
Oh, yeah. That was great. So that was so Pat, what Pat is talking about is I recently saw Jay Abraham speak, who is one of my business heroes. Just talking about it, just finished rereading his book for like the third time, and just amazing. He's an incredible guy. So one of his tips was, if you have a competitor that goes out of business,
locally,
you have someone around you that goes out of business, or not even around you, anyone that goes out of business, but they have a good reputation, what you should do is reach out to that company and offer to buy their phone number, or even just buy their website, leave it up, and just have it reroute to you. So when people call them, you could just say, like, oh yeah, I'm so sorry, like they went out of business, but we have a relationship with them where we're working with their clients now. That was like it was like next level crazy stuff. I loved that tip. So yeah, buy their phone number, people. It's only on this shows like this do you find tips like that.
That's right.
That's amazing, right? I love it. I mean, I thought that was just such a neat idea.
It's not gross at all. Not at all.
No, it's awesome.
Fantastic.
You don't pretend to be them. You just say, when they call, you just say, oh, by the way, yeah, they went out of business. Because otherwise what's going to happen? That stuff's going to disappear. People are going to call them, and they're not going to get anybody.
Sure.
This way, you can still help those people.
Right.
So it would be unethical not to buy their phone number.
That's right. That's right. We're here to serve. That's right.
Mm-hmm.
So you're right. What you mentioned before. First of all, I thought that this article was very, very validating as far as SEO goes. I mean, this is a very
personally validated by this article.
I do. Right? When it said that
it does specifically say that you're very pretty at the bottom.
It doesn't. That's very nice. No, but it does. I mean, it says that 85% of online retailers find the most effective source to acquire new customers is search. Both search marketing and SEO, they kind of, grouped it together. But still, I thought that was brilliant. And it's saying, obviously, search isn't going away. The search engines keep improving and changing their algorithms. Everything is just more heightened. Google is still, kind of dominating. Anyway, and of course, it's on search engine land. It's the website, I think, right?
Right. Yeah.
So whatever. It's they're speaking to the choir here. But I loved that. I thought that was very right. Okay, so number 2, let me see here. So number 2, I thought was also good. Are you ready to move on? Yeah,
sure.
Aligning.
Yeah. I'll put it up on the screen so people can see it. Yeah. So this one, number 2, was align your content and SEO teams.
Yeah. So this again, we just talked about how we think about grace and keeping your persona. It says right here, keeping your target persona in mind when you're creating this content. Don't separate the goals of the content team with the goals of the SEO team. So, they should all be, talking to each other. I think that that's sort of a no-brainer. Number 3 is the mobile idea. We really talked about that last week. Mm-hmm. Reporting, key performance indicators, knowing what the KPIs are that matter, and being able to draw those lines back to marketing efforts and marketing dollars, and doing that, return on investment, I think is
so let's talk about that. So how would you do that? Like, what are the metrics that you can show people that really connect the specific things that you do to results that they get, right? I mean, because you can show a trend and say over time we're up, right? But one of the things I struggle with, and my clients don't really struggle with it, right? They don't really care. But for me, part of what I struggle with SEO is saying, like, all right, let's say we did 10 blog posts, right? And over the last 3 months, your traffic has increased like 10%. Mm-hmm. But it's very hard to say, like, okay, did our traffic increase 10% because of those blog posts? You know what I mean? Like, sometimes it's hard to draw a direct line. Specifically for SEO, I mean, if you're talking about conversion optimization and stuff, it's a little because there's a discrete kind of conversion point. So how do you deal with that, or what do you look for in reporting or do in the reporting that you give to clients that makes it obvious for them? We're like, hey, I'm earning my keep. This is totally worth it. Right.
Well, I think where content's involved, you need to track those links, those backlinks, especially from social. There's such a lot of the work that I'm doing now is coming from social media to the site, what they're doing once they get on the site. So if you track those links individually at the blog level or at the content level, right? So you create a blog, you post it on social media, you post it on Twitter, you put it on the website. You can actually track how many, down to the conversion, right? How many people joined the list because they read that on Facebook and clicked the Facebook content and came to the website, right? I mean, a lot of this stuff is, I mean, that's what makes our job a little bit easier, right, than, say, general print marketing or anything else. I can prove, you know, what worked and what didn't, and do more of what works and less of what doesn't, right? It's kind of I say that line a lot. Yeah. But, you know, when it comes to how many people join the mailing list, for sure, when you've got products, I mean, that's a no-brainer. I can prove, you know, sales. For my one client, it's how many free consultations did we get from, you know, from Facebook generally. You know, at this point, we're not pushing exactly. You know, we're not tracking at exactly the post level, but we will be. There's some actions that we're taking again on Facebook, more social media stuff, where you can put those calls to action in the header of the business page and kind of drive traffic that way, as far as as an actual action. So,
so basically,
and also, Dan, I'm also doing how many people visit the contact page. You know, the contact us page. I'm capturing that now as a goal in analytics. You know, outside of phone tracking and, you know, taking that to the next level. But I want to know how many people I get to that contact page now.
Yeah. So okay, and I guess so. Like, if you're using tracking links, you can sort of track the traffic from one point to another or whatever. So that sort of makes it a little easier. I guess it's like, so let's say you're doing all that, right? And you find that your organic traffic has risen over the past month by 5%.
Mm-hmm.
Do you attribute your organic traffic, again, not coming from the direct stuff that you're doing, but your organic traffic, the rise, do you attribute that to what you do?
Yeah.
Or do you attribute that to, like, might be fluctuations in the search market?
Right.
Because what ends up happening is, like, I'm like, I can't really say that's because of me. I can say these things I did are because of me. That this I can't really say. We're gonna have to wait like a year for me to see, like, the trend line, right? And that's like, and then I have to compare that this year to, like, last year, so I can compare the trend line between the 2 years, so I get a sense of, like, if we blah blah blah. And that's like, for most people, they just tune out at that point. And so, and that may be, for me, it's like they don't really care. Right? It's like it's more about me trying to feel like I can be certain about something, when in reality it's like you can never be 100% certain, because for all you know, someone at Google, like, fell asleep on their keyboard and just hit the up rank button on your website or something, and, like, you know, I don't know. I'm sure that's how it works, right? People are hitting buttons. So,
well, I mean, here's the thing. I actually use the Moz tools, right? The Moz Pro tools, to show how my ranking is going, and it actually points that out from week to week, so I can see where my website is ranking for both, you know, local within certain geographies and nationally for particular search terms and search phrases. It's enough to make you insane, because things are going up and down on a weekly basis, and, you know, it's hard to say what's really causing what. But there's some beautiful, I mean, maybe we can talk about, you know, kind of the tools, but there's some beautiful analytics and graphs that I'm getting from Moz that I love. I mean, it's showing of all of the keywords that I feed into the reporting tool, the ones that are in, you know, first and third position, it shows me how that's increased, right? So if I've got 30 key phrases, something like that in the tool, it's showing me kind of like how it's behaving over time. And then it's showing how the search traffic, or how people are actually searching on those terms, is trending over time. Like, this is all, like, real-time data, or week-old data, but you know, it's stuff that I can actually react to and show and prove. So it's kind of like, well, how are we doing for, you know, this product in this area, this week? I don't necessarily want those questions, or want to look at it that granularly from day to day and week to week, but I can prove I can prove over time that things are trending up and that
Well,
we're seeing trends.
Yeah, and I think partially it's like the stock market, right? It's like you don't watch your stock day to day. You're just going to drive yourself crazy, and it's like you might be up this week because a competitor went out of business. Has nothing to do with you whatsoever, right? And so you may be down next week as Google readjusts. So if you take credit for the one, then you got to explain the other, right? So I found myself in this situation where I'd be like, oh yeah, our rank totally went up this week. That's totally me. And then the next week it would go down, and I'd be like, I don't know, that's something else. Like, you know what I mean? And it's like there's a certain amount of volatility to rankings that's just inbred, right? So it's born into that. And so you're right. You got to zoom out. Yep. You see the trend, because the minute to minute, like, it doesn't really affect you all that much, right? Right. It's important. Yeah.
Yeah.
That was another way I mentioned that Keith Cunningham. He's good. He says in a, he's like, trends are numbers with context.
Yeah.
Right? And I'm like, that's just really right. It's like a number by itself means nothing.
Yeah.
Without some sort of context around it. So yeah, pretty cool.
Yeah, I'm excited. I'm going to look at those books. I appreciate the recommendations.
Cool. All right. Well, it's 12:30. I'm going to call.
Yeah.
Patty, you're awesome.
You're awesome, Dan.
And everybody out there, thank you so much for watching. If you tune in halfway through, you want to see the rest, or you just want to see any of our past recordings, you can go to twofriendlynerds.com/hangout. That's twofriendlynerds.com/hangout, where you will find the archive of SEO and IPA episodes, or just go on to the YouTubes and type in SEO and IPA, and you'll find a whole bunch of stuff. We'll be back next week, same bat time, same bat channel, Wednesday, noon Eastern Standard Time, with another awesome article, useful tips, handsome faces, and more. Patty, you are the best. Thank you so much, as always.
Goodbye, dear.
Goodbye, and as always.
Come on! I'm leading.
As always, everyone out there, please remember, optimize responsibly.
Optimize responsibly.
All right, guys. Bye-bye. We'll see you next week.
Cheers.
Adios.